What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Wanted to talk to you about our friends over at Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. This app is really easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash on a single lineup. Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use the promo code PFF and download the app now. I don't know if this is a polarizing draft. I feel like I've heard a pretty big praise for it, but there is some nuance that I want to get into with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, at the very top, they get aggressive, go from number 5 to number 2, and trade up to get Travis Hunter. Don't have a second-round pick because they give a future first and this year's second-round pick to make that happen. So we then have to jump all the way down to the third round. They had 2 third-round picks, safety Caleb Bransaw, and then offensive lineman Wyatt Milam. Fourth round, they had a pair of speedsters, Bashaw Tootin and Jack Kaiser. Sixth round, J.M. McLeod and Rayon Lane, the safety from Navy. Seventh round, they go with Jonah Monheim and LaQuint Allen. We gave this a B-plus draft here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What'd you think of it, Dalton?
I think so. I mean, it depends on how much value you feel they're getting out of Travis Hunter, right? I think our good friend Max Chadwick talked about, well, with Hunter, it's possible that you're getting 2 players in one, and he's worth 2 first-round picks, right? If he can find a way to play both ways. The Jags have made it very clear that he's going to play receiver first, and he's going to be that partner for Brian Thomas Jr., and he's going to make Trevor Lawrence's life a lot easier. And they must have felt to do that he was clearly wide receiver 1 in this class, even ahead of Tetero and McMillan. I could see the argument. I get it. Hunter's a special athlete with special ball skills, and obviously if he can help them at all at corner, which they've signed Jordan Lewis, and they're starting to get it together in the secondary, but if he can help them at corner as well, then you've got a whole different value that possibly makes him the most valuable non-quarterback in football. And I think that's what you're really talking about. When you talk about his value and how it could translate if he can help you on both sides of the ball, it is in the range of PFF WAR of like a low-end starting quarterback, which a lot of teams in that case, we've seen it in the draft, we just saw it with Jackson Dart and the Giants, they'll give up an extra first-round pick for that. So I just think they viewed Travis Hunter as so special. They said, you know what, a lot of these teams, they got into the depth of this draft and they took the quantity approach and they were trading down and picking at guys they wanted at positions of depth. The Jags said, no, we need a franchise-altering player. We'll worry about the later rounds later. So I get the approach. I get the aggressive approach, especially for a new regime trying to fill in a lot of holes on this roster. But I think Liam Cohen knows too, when he was with the Rams, they had Kupp and Nakua. When he was with the Bucs, they had Evans and Godwin. The value of having 2 elite weapons like that, and now you have it in Hunter and Thomas, I think superseded anything else they might have thought about this draft class, on top of the fact that it's very possible you could help him at corner. A couple other picks I like. I really like Milam as a developmental offensive lineman, possibly a future starting guard. Bashaw Tootin's a nice change-up in the backfield with the speed. I like Jack Kaiser. He was LB5 for me. I thought it was a really good pick just to get some depth behind Oluokun and Lloyd at linebacker. And then I think Jonah Monheim is even someone to look out for in the 7th round at center as a same thing as Milam, a developmental offensive lineman. Maybe if he gets stronger, he's got a shot to play center in the future, but he's a good guy to have around either as a center or as someone who's played all over the line at USC and can be a valuable swingman for you.
Yeah, very clearly the theme here for Jacksonville was team speed. They wanted to get faster as a team. Travis Hunter, fast. Bashaw Tootin, fast. Jack Kaiser, fast. Rayon Lane, fast. Caleb Bransaw, fast. It's just that was the theme of what they wanted to do here. James Gladstone wanted to be aggressive. He wanted to make his mark on this draft. And I think that when he saw the opportunity to go get, in my opinion, I hate the generational tag for players. I think it's dumb. I think it's overused way, way, way too much. But if there's a generational player in this class, it's Travis Hunter. Somebody who can give you two-way ability and be able to be a both sides of the ball type of a playmaker for you. That's quite literally generational if he is able to do that for you, because you just don't see anybody ever do that. And so if they have plans for him to be able to play both sides of the ball and impact all 3 phases of the game even, then the value that you have for this player is incredible. I love the aggressiveness to go up and get him. This is my number 1 player in the class, so to get him at number 2, and to be honest with you, only have to give up a first and a second round pick to go up and do it, to get the best player in this class, a player that they really need on the offensive side of the ball. I like it. The rest of this draft, I was not the biggest fan of. Just looking at what grade I gave them individually, I think that it's a B plus still because you get Travis Hunter, and I think that that's what's most important. But Caleb Ransaw, I think, is overdrafted. I worry about him. Like, he's got phenomenal recovery speed, but there's a reason why he's in recovery mode a lot, and I just don't think he anticipates super well. Also, this team, I think, has a plethora of slot receivers, or slot corners. Maybe they think that he's going to play safety. He mostly played in the slot this past season, so I guess I got to wait and see for his deployment there. But as a slot, I feel like this is sort of an overcrowded room anyways, and I didn't love how he anticipated as a slot defender. That only gets more difficult in the NFL. I was lower on Bashal Tutin. I understand the home run hitting ability, but somebody who constantly puts the ball on the ground, constantly fumbling, first percentile when it comes to fumbles over the last 2 seasons. 9 is just way too many. I also thought that, hey, it was a super speedy back, but didn't always love how he saw the line of scrimmage either. So I think that was a little bit rich for me, although NFL teams love to bet on speed, so I can understand it. Jack Kaiser was a pick that I really liked. I like Ran Lane as well. I think he could be a very aggressive and fast safety for them there on the back end. So there are things that I liked, but also things I was a little bit wary of with Jacksonville. And so that's my thoughts as a whole, though. I just think that Dalton, they wanted to get faster. Like, they just wanted to get so much faster as a team, and that was James Gladstone's theme.
Yeah, and I believe on Ransaw, it was Gladstone, I believe, said that he views Ransaw as a safety and should be, he thinks he could be in that in at least a competition for a starting role at safety early on. He's going to move him back away from the slot. Like you mentioned, he's got a lot of options up there in the slot. So Ransaw is going to slide back and maybe compete for a starting role there.